What ends up happening is you start feeling lonely because you're not comfortable with this person that you're projecting to the world. Today I want to talk to you about being lonely. Hey everyone, my name is Hakim and welcome to 3-Minute Mastery. And as always, we are fumbling through life together, one lesson at a time. So many of us in this world feel lonely. No matter who's in our lives, we still feel lonely. And there is a reason for that. One of the reasons for that is that we are just not being comfortable with ourselves. And when I say we're not being comfortable with ourselves, it sounds like we're talking about two separate people here. We are not comfortable with ourselves. Who is the we and who is the self? So when we're not being comfortable with ourselves, that means that the projected version of us, that version of us that we show to society, that we project to society so they see us a certain way, that version of ourselves is not comfortable with the true us that is eternal. And what ends up happening is you start feeling lonely because you're not comfortable with this person that you're projecting to the world. And that person that you're projecting to the world is not comfortable with the true essence that is you. And a lot of people will say, well, I'm in a relationship or I have lots of friends, but I still feel lonely. I mean, as an example, if you're in a relationship and you are projecting a false self in that relationship, well, how is that person, your partner, supposed to relate to you? That person is relating to a false self. They're not relating to the real self, the true self. And if they're relating to a false self, then of course the true essence of who you are is going to feel lonely because you're not relating from a real place. And this gets doubly complicated when we start thinking about that person that's relating to us. That person is also projecting a false self. So now, what you have is you've got two people projecting a false self, and those false selves are relating to each other. So you've got two things that aren't real relating to each other, instead of the two things that are real relating to each other. So what this all boils down to is it boils down to us being comfortable with who we truly are. And once we're comfortable about who we truly are, then it's a lot easier to not be lonely. The cure for the loneliness is in the loneliness. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is you've got to spend more time alone. There are going to be so many opportunities where you can put a Band-Aid on that loneliness. And we all know what some of those opportunities are. So when those opportunities come to put a Band-Aid on the loneliness, step back from using that Band-Aid and just sink into the loneliness for a while. The projected you will never be comfortable with the real you. This is why so many people are in jobs and they go to work and a lot of times they have anxiety about their jobs. They're like, something doesn't feel right, I don't belong here. The reason they feel that is because the true them is not in league with the projected them, which is trying to satisfy parents or trying to satisfy society or trying to satisfy friends. So, if you want to cure loneliness, the best way to cure loneliness is to start developing a relationship with yourself. How do we do this? Well, there's always the projected self that we're showing to the world. Can we take that projected self and start creating a relationship with the true self? Well, one thing we need to understand and one thing we need to realize is that the projected self is not real. The projected self is simply a fabrication of all of our experiences and the way we want to be perceived. So once we step back from the projected self and become a watcher of the projected self, we start to sink into what is real, what's inside of us. The projected self is impermanent. The projected self will not last forever. The true self, the inner self, is permanent, and that inner self will last forever. I thank you so much for listening to what I had to say today. If you like what I had to say, please by all means share it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button and you can share it there as well. Once again, my name is Hakim, and I haven't told you anything that you already don't know.